Hello everyone, welcome to this very exciting session for all the JEE aspirants out there. So guys, we are back with another exciting session today. So today I'm going to discuss the most predicted questions for the JEE Main 2023. But before that, guys, how are you? For all the students who are going to write the JEE examination tomorrow or in this particular week, excited, tensed? But let me tell you guys, the examination is going to be easy. Yes, the paper got leaked. I'm telling you, the examination is easy. You have to have this mindset. Never go to the examination with this mindset that the paper is going to be tough. I don't know how many marks I'm going to get, how many marks I'm going to attempt. No, leave all those negative thoughts as far as, the examination is concerned. You are prepared very well. You know how much you have prepared. You know how much you can score in the examination. So why are all these things you're really getting worried about? So really don't get worried about all these things, guys. Just concentrate on the examination. Concentrate on the topics, whatever you have prepared. Be confident. Go with a positive feeling that you are going to crack the examination. There is no doubt in that. Okay, so to boost up that confidence, so what I'm going to do is, today I'll be discussing some of the most predicted questions that can come in the JEE Main 2023 examination. So this session is going to be very useful for you, a very productive session for all the JEE aspirants out there, JEE 2023 aspirants out there. So let's begin the session today, guys. Let's not waste any more time. I hope I'm audible and visible for everyone out there. So let's start the session. Everyone ready? Okay. So chalo guys, here you go. So let us start the first question for you. So I'll give you some time. In fact, you can start doing along with me. The questions are going to be dead easy. As I told you, this paper, JEE Main examination, is going to be easy. That is how our mindset is going to be. If you look at the questions in that particular way, with the positive, attitude, with the positive feeling, I'm telling you, guys, believe me, you will definitely get the answer. Okay, since you're prepared very well, right? So for this particular question, let us see what is given for you. So if summation, okay, the question is from statistics. Statistics is such an easy chapter, such a scoring chapter. I keep telling you guys, you have to not miss out this chapter, because definitely one question is going to come from this particular chapter, and if you are missing it out, you're simply wasting those 4 marks. Okay, and if you see in this particular question, guys, let us see what is given to us. So in this particular question, the summation of xi minus 5 is equal to 9 is given, and summation of xi minus 5 whole square is equal to 45 is given for you. We need to calculate the standard deviation of these 9 items, x1, x2, so on, x9. So what is going to be the approach in this question, guys? Any idea? Well, this is dead easy question. I mean, what are we going to find out in this question? We need to find out what is going to be the standard deviation. Now, regarding the standard deviation, we have studied this property, yes or no? In fact, you should be, remembering that property now. It's very simple. That, let us say, if these are going to be the observations, x1, x2, x3, so on, xn, let us say if these are going to be the observations, and let me do one thing. Let me add or subtract, okay, a certain number, a certain constant to all these observations. So let us say, what if I take x1 plus or minus a, x2 plus or minus a, x3 plus or minus a, so on, xn plus or minus a. If I add or subtract a certain constant to all these observations, now the question for you guys is, will the standard deviation change? Is the standard deviation going to remain the same, or is it going to change? Well, definitely, the standard deviation SD is going to remain the same. Standard deviation SD is going to remain the same. Remember, the mean of this particular observations is going to change, but the mean deviation, the standard deviation, as well as the variance, of course, is not going to change. It is going to remain the same, even if you add or subtract a certain number from all the observations. Now this is a simple question, right? If you remember this basic property, just this basic property, this particular question is done. I mean, for this particular question, if you start doing it, guys, if you want to know the method exactly, so we need to find the standard deviation, right? So let me do one thing. Let me make it very simple for you. Let me take xi minus phi to be equal to yi. Okay. In that way, this is what you're going to get. Summation I running from 1 to 9, the yi value is going to be 9. And summation I running from 1 to 9, yi square, this value is basically going to become 45. Now we need to calculate the standard deviation of x1, x2, so on x9. So what is the standard deviation formula? That is sigma is equal to square root of summation I running from 1 to 9 yi square whole divided by the number of observations, which is going to be 9, minus of summation yi divided by the number of observations 9 whole square. So this is going to be the formula, right? I hope you guys remember the standard deviation formula. So this is the standard deviation formula. In this case, you already know this particular term. Sigma yi square is going to be how much? It's 45. What is sigma yi given for you in the question? It is 9. So from this, all you have to do is calculate the standard deviation. Just put those values here and just get the value. Trivial calculations. I'm leaving it for you guys. And if you do so, the right answer which you have to get in this case is option D, which is going to be 2. I hope most of the students already got the answer, right? So a basic, simple question from the standard deviation, and you can expect such type of questions in the tomorrow's examination as well as this week JEE main examination. As I told you, in statistics, each and every year a question is definitely going to be asked. Okay, and the question is definitely going to be around standard deviation, variance or mean deviation. Definitely, that is for sure. Okay, he might give you standard deviation of certain observations. He might add or subtract or multiply or divide a constant to those observations, like in this question. Or else he might give you something else. Maybe in the given observations, one is missing. We need to find out. And to find out, the variance and standard deviation, or variance, or let us say mean deviation, is provided to you. So these are the types of questions. But I'm pretty sure if you have the clarity in this concepts of standard deviation, variation, as well as the variance, as well as mean deviation, the mean, I don't think you guys will fumble in the examination if you see such type of questions. Got it? So guys, very simple, very easy peasy question for you. Now let me go to the next question. Well, this is a complex number question. Okay. Now let's just look at the question, what it is about. So if z is a complex number satisfying mod of z square minus 1 is equal to 4 into mod z, then the minimum value of mod z is going to be. Okay. Now in complex numbers, a certain type of questions can be repeated. I have seen certain type of patterns in the complex number questions repeating in the past few years. And this is one such pattern where we need to figure out what is the minimum value or maximum value, okay, of let us say mod z. Now in this case, guys, there are certain properties, if you remember, there are certain properties related to the modulus of complex number, right? So definitely go through it, definitely remember them. They're very important. And as far as this question is concerned, well, in this particular question, let me do it in this way. Let us say that mod z square minus 1 is 4 into mod z, right? Now let me take z as a common in this particular term. Okay, so if you do so, this is what I'm going to get. Let me just check, because the OBS setup is somehow in trouble here. Just a minute, guys, just a minute. Okay, can everyone hear me? I hope all the students can hear me. Guys, can everyone hear me? Okay, I think I'm live. I'm in live. Okay. Okay guys, I think I'm live. Chalo, I'll just continue with the session. Okay, fine. So guys, here you can see this one, that we can apply this particular property, right? If you apply this property in this particular case, this is what we are going to get. We're going to get mod z into mod of z minus 1 by z is equal to 4 into mod z, correct? And you can clearly see that this term and this term is getting cancelled, and this is what I'm getting, man. Mod of z minus 1 by z is simply is equal to 4. Is this clear for everyone out there? Okay. Now from here, can we apply a property? We have this property, and what is that property going to be? You can clearly see that. You see, whenever, if we take mod of z minus 1 by z to be less than or equal to 4, and we do know this property, right? Mod of z1 minus z2 is definitely greater than or equal to mod of z1 minus mod of z2 whole mod. We do have this property, and if you apply this property, you see, this is what we are going to get. I hope this is clear for you guys. Okay, now all you have to do is apply the concept of mod. Now we do know the simple logic that if mod x is going to be less than or equal to a, x is definitely going to lie between minus a, and the same thing is applied here. Okay, and from here you just have to solve this inequality. You take this condition 1, let us say this is going to be condition 1, and let us say this is going to be condition number 2, and if you do so, you end up getting different values of mod, okay, mod z, and from that you have to choose the minimum value, and that is simply going to be this particular value. Okay, so guys, this is one such type of questions, which has been repeated several times, the type of question. So definitely go through this question, guys, go through this particular type where you have to be using the properties of modulus of the complex number, and not only the modulus, sometimes properties of conjugate as well as modulus, both can be mixed in a single question. So definitely go through that also. Okay, so I hope this question is clear for you. I'm not doing the trivial calculations or simple concepts, since you guys have little time. I completely understand that. So I'm trying to basically run through all these basic concepts once again. Through the question, I'm trying to basically revise the concepts once again, okay, just to remind you that which are important, which are not important, which you have to definitely remember. Okay, chalo. Now let me go to another question for you. Now you see this particular question, guys. Again, if the value of this entire thing is L, we need to find out what is L square equal to. Now, what would be the first reaction of yours if you see this question in the examination in JEE main? Okay, you're writing the exam, everything is going fine, and suddenly this is what you see. Okay, you see this particular question out there in your JEE main examination. I can definitely tell you 50% of the students would directly leave the question right away the moment they see this question. I mean, just look at the question, how big it is. It looks so complicated, but trust me, it's a very simple question. All you have to do is find this value. Okay, agreed. It's a very large value. It looks like a very large expression. But what I would do in this particular case is, I'll break it down into two parts, man. Just observe this part and this part. That's it. Okay, what about this particular part? 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 3 cube plus so on infinity. I don't think you'll have any trouble dealing with this part. Man, this is infinite GP, right? This is going to be infinite GP. This is going to be infinite GP, and all you have to find out is sum to infinity in this particular case, and given by the formula a by 1 minus r. You know what is a in this case? A is the first term, which is 1 by 3, and r is the common ratio, which is simply going to be 1 by 3. Just substitute these values to get the s infinity. So this part is done. You don't have to really get worried about this part. Now what about this particular part? Well, let me write it down for you. Now coming to this part, guys, let us say s is equal to 1 plus 2 by 3 plus 6 by 3 square plus 10 divided by 3 cube plus so on infinity. This is what is given for you, right? Now observe this, students, observe this. 2 to 6, 6 to 10, 4, the common difference is 4, okay? And if you observe the denominators, 3, 3 square, 3 cube, they are having a common ratio, right? Now what does this mean? This is an AGP, correct? Now you should know how to deal with AGP. How do you find out the sum to infinity or sum to n terms for the arithmetico-geometric progression, correct? In this case also you have to be applying the same concept. So for arithmetico-geometric progression, guys, all you have to do is multiply with the common ratio on both the sides. So in this case, for the GP, the common ratio is 1 by 3. So I'm going to get S by 3 is equal to, let me write this as 1 by 3. This is going to become 2 by 3 square. All I'm doing is to this particular first equation, I'm multiplying with the common ratio on both the sides. So common ratio is 1 by 3. So multiplying with 1 by 3 on both the sides. And this is what I'm getting. So see, 1 into 1 by 3 is 1 by 3. 2 by 3 into 1 by 3 is 2 by 3 square. Plus, this is going to be 6 by 3 cube plus 10 by 3 raised to 4. And this goes till infinity. I hope this is clear for you. Now, all you have to do is add those two equations, man. So you're going to get 2s plus 3. In fact, you can clearly see this is what you are going to get. So if you add this, this is what, or else let me do one thing, guys. In this case, instead of adding it, let me subtract it. Okay, I think that is going to work out. Okay, and if you subtract these two equations, I'll just show you what we are going to get. If you observe this, guys, if you subtract these two equations, you see, this is what we are going to get. You observe this? This is what we are going to get. Simple calculation. So see here, 1 will remain as it is. 2 by 3 minus 1 by 3, 1 by 3. 6 by 3 square by minus 2 by 3 square, 4 by 3 square. 10 by 3 cube minus 6 by 3 cube, 4 by 3 cube. Got it? And now you observe this. If you add 1 and 1 by 3, you see this is what we are getting. And if you observe the right hand side, it is again in infinite GP. You see 4 by 3. 4 by 3 square, 4 by 3 cube. It is an infinite GP. If you just take 4 as a common, 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 3 cube, it's an infinite GP. You can apply the formula for sum to infinite terms for this particular geometric progression, and from that you can figure out what is the value of S. So got it, everyone? So actually this is a pretty simple question. So in this question, if you divide this into two parts, the first part is infinite GP, the second part is AGP, and from that, if you apply those respective methods, you would end up getting this value as well as this particular value. And then putting those values into this expression, you see this is what you're gonna get. That is 3 raised to log of 1 by 2 base 1 by 4. And if you basically solve this, root 3 is going to be the answer. And that is basically option. I mean, we need to find out L square. So the answer for this question is simply going to be 3. So I hope you guys have understood what is this question about, how simple this was. Definitely it was a simple question, right? It looks complicated, but if you know these two basic concepts of infinite GP as well as this particular concept of AGP, then definitely this is not a very difficult question for you. Okay, so I hope this is clear for everyone out there. Now let me go to another question, guys. Now you see this particular question, the sum of the last two digits of 27 raised to 27. And guys, for all the questions who are asking doubts in the chat section, I'll definitely address your doubts. Okay, so first let me do at least 6 to 7 questions. Okay, and then let me take some 2 minutes to chat with you. Okay, to discuss some questions with you if you have any doubts out there, and then I'll continue with this session. And at the end, I'll take a Q&A session, guys, where you can ask your doubts. I'll definitely reply to them. Okay, now let me just concentrate on this question, and you guys also just concentrate here. Now what is given for you? The sum of the last two digits of 27 raised to 27. Which chapter this question is? Yes, definitely binomial theorem. You must have done this type of questions, right? So many questions of this type. So how are we going to do this question, guys? Very simple. Now 27 whole raised to 27. If you want to figure out what are going to be the last two digits in this case, all you have to do is write this as 1 plus something which is going to be a multiple of 10. Are you able to understand this, guys? Write this as 1 plus, or you can also write it as 1 minus. Okay, so write it as 1 plus something. In fact, you want to find the last two digits, right? So I guess it's going to be beneficial for us. Definitely it's going to be useful if you write it as 1 plus rather than 1 minus. So in this case, let me write this as this entire expression 27 raised to 27. Let us try to write it as 1 plus some number which is a multiple of 10, okay, some number, this entire thing, which is a multiple of 10, whole raised to some number. This is how you have to basically, modify the given number 27 raised to 27 in this particular way. And I'll tell you, I think you already might have got the hint, why am I writing in this particular way? But if at all you're not able to understand, just wait for another 1 or 2 minutes, you'll get to know why I'm exactly writing in this particular way. So for that, well, 27 raised to 27, if I want to write it in this particular way, I can do it in this way, right? Well, 27 guys, this is basically 3 cube, right? So 3 cube, so 27 3s are 81, so 3 raised to 81, okay? And this can be written as 3 into 3 raised to 80, okay? And this can be written as 3 into 3 raised to 4 whole raised to 20. Can we write it in this way? Correct. Now 3 raised to 4, what is that going to be? Well, 3, 9, 27, 81. So this can be written as 3 into 81 whole raised to 20, which in turn can be written as 3 into 1 plus 80 whole raised to 20. This is how you can write it down. Correct? I hope this is clear for everyone out there. Now try to understand this, guys. Try to understand this. Apply the binomial theorem in this particular case. Apply the binomial theorem in this particular case to expand 1 plus 80 whole raised to 20. Now I'll just show that to you, how that looks like exactly. You can clearly see here. So if you expand 1 plus 80 whole raised to 20, you see this is what we are going to get. Now this is a very simple step, easy peasy step. Just apply the binomial theorem, you're gonna get this one. Now what you have to do is, guys, from this to this, what can we take common? From this term, leave the first and second terms, okay? From the third term till the last term, what can we take as a common? Definitely, can we take 100 as a common, 10 square as a common? And that is what I have done. Okay, so 3 into this first term and second term. Second term is basically 1600. So 3 into 1 plus 1600 plus this entire thing is definitely going to be a multiple of 10 square. I hope you agree with this step, right? So definitely it's going to be a multiple of 100. Now, what is this going to be? 3 into 1 plus 1600. If you basically simplify, this is what you are going to get. 4803 plus a multiple of 100. Now, can you tell me what is going to be the last 2 digits in this case? Guys, it's very simple. See, if you're multiplying anything with 100, that number will definitely have 2 zeros in the last. That is for sure. Okay, so whatever this number might be, it will definitely have 2 zeros in the last. And you add up these 2 zeros with this last 2 digits of 4803. And what are the last 2 digits you're going to get in this case? 03. And that is going to be your answer. So this is how you can do this particular question, and definitely the answer is 3. In this case, basically 01, 03, 05 and 15 was given, and yes, definitely option B, which is 03, is going to be the answer. So I hope this is clear for everyone out there. Is anyone having any doubt? So guys, again, binomial theorem, such an important chapter, and let me tell you, the love on this chapter recently for this JEE people has increased exponentially. I don't know why, I don't know what is the reason, but if you see last 2-3 years, the last 3-4 years JEE main papers, binomial theorem questions, the weightage has increased. So, you can expect one such question in your JEE main 2023 as well. And in binomial theorem, there are certain type of questions which are repeatedly asked in the examination, and this is one such type where we need to find out last digit or sometime last 2 digits, or some time he might ask you, he's dividing a certain number with a certain number. What is going to be its remainder? This type of questions are frequently asked. So go through this concept, pretty simple concept guys. Definitely you would be able to do this, no doubt in that. So now let me go to another question. Okay, we are into probability. Okay, again, this chapter is such a contrasting chapter. I mean, few students love it and few students hate it. And the students who hate it, they hate it because they don't understand it. That's a very simple logic out there. There is nothing else. Okay, so guys, definitely prepare permutations, combinations and probability, because you know both are interlinked. You know P and C, definitely you would be better in probability. Okay, so and definitely questions are going to be asked from permutations and combinations as well as probability. Definitely one question is expected, and you can see this is one such type of question where you have 52 cards, and what are we doing in this case? An even number of cards are drawn from a pack of 52 cards. Okay. Probability that the count of red cards is 2 more than the count of black cards is. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me not mix up the question. Let me again divide this into two parts. Guys, you can apply this approach in the examination also. Whenever you're not able to understand the question as a whole, divide that into sections. Okay. So let us say in this case, let me divide this into one part. Okay, let us just concentrate on the first part. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. The mic, I don't know why, but for some reason, the mic just fell off. Okay, I hope the volume is clear. Okay, fine. Chalo. So let us continue the session again. So in this case, if you observe, guys, the first part of the question. An even number of cards is drawn from a pack of 52 cards. Now what does that mean? Well, we can draw 2 cards since 2 is even, or 4 cards, or 6 cards, or 8 cards, or 10, 12, 16, 14, 18. We can draw all such even numbers. So what are the total number of ways in which we can draw even number of cards from 52 cards? Well, as I told you, 52C2 is one way. That is, I can pick up 2 cards out of 52 cards. Or else, I can pick up 4 cards out of 52 cards. That is also another way. Or I can pick up 6 cards out of 52 cards. So this continues till 52C52. 52C52. This is going to continue till 52C52. Now the question for you is, can you find this value? This is pretty simple, man. You should definitely know this, right? Now what is this value going to be? In fact, you might already know this property that NC0 plus NC2 plus NC4 plus so on. This will be equal to 2 raised to n minus 1, correct? But here we are starting with 52C2, not NC0, that is not 52C0. So this value right here, what is this value going to be? This is going to be simply 2 raised to 52 minus 1 minus 52C0, which is going to be 1. So simply, guys, this value right here is going to be this much. So in denominator, it's going to be 2 raised to 51 minus 1. And this is going to give you the total number of ways. The total number of ways in which you can pick up this even cards, okay, from 52 cards. And I guess in the option, if you see, this has to definitely go in the denominator. So in the options, definitely, guys, option A and option C is gone. Only option B and option D are left out. Okay, now for that we need to check the particular second part of the question, where it is given that the probability that the count of red cards is 2 more than the count of black cards. This is always. Now what does that mean, guys? Well, try to understand this. Now we know that in 52 pack of cards, how many red cards are there? How many red cards are going to be there? 26. And how many black cards do we have? Again, 26. Now when you're selecting them, you should be selecting them in such a way that you should be selecting the red cards always 2 more than the black cards. Now in how many ways can we do that? Now let's just write down the different cases. One way is 52C0 into 52C2. Does it make sense? 52C0 plus into 52C2. Does it make sense? Yeah, well, I think it does make sense, right? I mean, what I'm doing is here, I'm not selecting a black card at all. And that is 52C0. And what is 52C2? I'm selecting 2 red cards. And you should definitely agree with this, right? I mean, this is definitely agreeing with this particular condition, right? The red cards are basically 2 more than the black cards. That is one case. What would be the second case, guys? 52C1 into 52C3. That is, I'm selecting one black card, which is going to be, sorry, not 52. I'm very sorry guys. It's not 52. I should be selecting it from red and black, right? So it is 26, yeah, correct. 26C0 into 26C2. That is, out of 26 black cards, I'm selecting nothing. And out of 26 red cards, I'm selecting 2 cards. Similarly, out of 26 black cards, I can select 1 card. Then from the red cards, 26 red cards, how many should I select such that this condition is definitely going to satisfy? I need to be selecting 3 cards now, since it should be 2 more than black cards, right? Now what is the case number 3? 26C2, and this is going to be 26C4, and this will continue. You'll get a lot of cases like that till the last case, which is 26C24 into 26C26. That is, I'm basically selecting 24 cards out of this 26 black cards. Then these red cards need to be selected. How many has to be selected? 26. And what is the formula for this? Can anyone tell me? This is like NC0 into NC2, NC1 into NC3, NC2 into NC4. In binomial theorem, we do have a formula for this, which is 2NCN. And what is that going to give you? Well, if you apply 2NCN in this particular case, this is what you are going to get. So 2 into n, 26 into 2 is simply going to be 52 CN. And what is that going to be, guys? It is going to be 26. So 52C26 is going to be the answer. Sorry. It's going to be 2n. Here, the formula in this particular case is simply going to be 52C. It's going to be 52C24. That is 2n. C, it's going to be 24. Okay. And that is simply going to be n minus 2. So guys, this formula is important for you. This particular formula is important for you. So just go through it, and if you see the options, yes, definitely this should be in the numerator and this should be in the denominator. So do we have any option like that? Yes, definitely. Option B is going to be the right answer. Okay, so definitely guys, in binomial, in fact not binomial theorem, in probability, go through this concept. First thing is that go through this concepts of combinations, these properties, which are very, very important. There are certain formulas like this one, NC0, NC2, NC4, which is 2 raised to n minus 1. And also this particular formula, which is NC0 into NC2 plus NC1 into NC3 plus NC2 into NC4. This particular formula, okay, go through that formula as well. And in this case, we applied these 2 formulas and we got the answer. And also it's very important for you to first understand the question. Sometimes in probability, what happens is that the question as a whole might not be that easy, or you might not comprehend it at the first time. So what you can do in such a case is just divide this into maybe 2 or 3 parts depending upon the question. Try to solve those individual parts and try to relate them, connect them. Definitely it would become a lot easier for you guys. And if you want the detailed solution, everything is given for you here. So just go through it. I hope you guys have understood this question. Okay, so now let me go to another question. Now this is a matrix question, guys, and what is given for you? Let A be a 3 by 3 matrix. Then which of the following is not always true? Okay, so 4 options are given, and in the 4 options, all I can see is adjoint of adjoint A. The first one is pretty simple, man. This is definitely true. This is the basic definition of inverse function, right? A inverse is going to be adjoint of A by determinant of A. So this is definitely going to be true. No doubt in that. Now what about adjoint of adjoint A? Now here, what I wanted to point out is there are certain formulas in matrices also, like, you know, determinant of adjoint A formula, or something which is some formulas or properties which are related to adjoint of A, and some other properties like, you know, let's say determinant of K into A, that particular property or that particular formula. There are certain formulas in matrices which are very important. Questions have been framed in the past using those formulas. So definitely go through it. Okay, so in this case, well, all you have to do is to solve this question is, if you remember this formula, adjoint of adjoint A, and that is simply equal to determinant of A raised to n minus 2 into A. Guys, this is the formula. Okay, just apply this formula and check each and every option. You already know A is correct. Check option B, C and D. Let me just show that to you guys. So this is the basic property which we have applied in this case. And if you take n is equal to 3, definitely option B is going to be correct. No doubt in that. So B is also going to be correct. And for option C, you can clearly see in this particular, this particular property again. Now, if you want to find out determinant of A square into adjoint of A whole inverse. Now, what is adjoint of A whole inverse? You can apply the concept of A inverse. So, we do know that A inverse is 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A, correct? Now, what is adjoint of A inverse? Simple. All you have to do is replace A by adjoint of A. Now, what are we going to get in this case? 1 by determinant of adjoint of A into adjoint of adjoint A. Adjoint of adjoint A. This is what you are gonna get, and you can clearly see this is what is given for you. Okay, and guys, all you have to do is do the simplification, man. Do the simplification here. You're definitely going to get the answer. So if you check that, if you basically follow this, you'll get to know that for n is equal to 3 also option C is going to be true. So the only option left is option D. So that is definitely going to be false. No need to check it. Okay, but if you want to check it also, you can do that. You can verify it from here. You can clearly see that the option D is not going to be true. If you apply the same property, this particular property, the option D is not going to be true. Okay, so I hope this question is clear for you, everyone. So again, I'm telling you, focus on this properties of matrices, adjoint matrix. Okay, and also there are certain simple formulas on the determinants. Okay, definitely go through that. They might be asked in the examination. We have seen that in the previous year. So this year also, we might expect a question from this property. Okay, I mean, there's all these properties of determinants. Okay, fine. So now let me go to another question. Woof. We are into vector algebra. There is a vector algebra question, guys. What is given? If 2a plus 3b plus c cross 3b plus 3c plus a dot 3c plus 2a plus b is equal to 48, where a, b and c are non-coplanar vectors, then what is the value of this? Again, the question looks complicated, but let me tell you, this is a dead easy question if you know the formulas. Many students get confused in vectors and 3D geometry. They actually get into details, very depth, but for me, it's not required. I mean, you really need not to go into that depth to understand the concept of vector algebra and 3D geometry. Guys, remember the formulas. In vector algebra, what is there? Vector product, scalar vector triple product is there. Okay, and also we have scalar triple product. For this 4 particular concepts, we have certain formulas. Definitely remember all those formulas. If you know all those formulas, trust me, you're in the safe zone. Okay, you know how to apply those formulas, then definitely the question is definitely going to be easy for you. No doubt in that. See, in this question also, it might look complicated, but this is completely a formula based question. You see on this particular left hand side, you see, let me take this one for you. Okay, now you see this is cross and dot. Now what is this going to be? Scalar triple product. Now can I write it in this way? Okay, box 2a plus 3b plus c, and what is this one going to be? 3b plus 3c plus a, and what is this one going to be? 3c plus 2a plus b, and that is equal to 48. Now you should be knowing this, guys. There is a property for this one. There is a formula for this one. Now how are we going to simplify this, guys? Very simple. All we have to do right now is, if you have a box like this, where you have vectors a, b, c, and there is a linear combination between them, and you have taken all that 3 inside the box, then in this case, this can be simplified in this particular way. How? Just write down the coefficients of a, b, c in each and every term. Okay, so what is this going to be? 2, 3 and 1, correct? For the second one, it's going to be 1, 3 and 3. What about the third term, guys? It's going to be 2, 1 and 3. So this is how you're going to get the determinant in this case using the coefficients of ABC. And after that, all you have to do is take the box ABC, and that is equal to 48. I hope this is clear for everyone. Okay, now guys, from here can you figure out box ABC? Now this is a easy peasy stuff, trivial calculation. Just find the determinant value and get the value of box ABC. Okay, so I hope things are clear till now. So we got to know what is box ABC going to be from here. So we got to know what is box ABC going to be in this particular case. But that is what is not required in the question, right? We need to find out this particular value, that is determinant of A dot A dot B, A dot C, B dot A, B dot B, B dot C, C dot A, C dot B, C dot C. And guys, if you know the formula, this is simply nothing but box ABC square. If you find out box ABC square, this is simply nothing but this. So from here, you get box ABC, put that value in this case, and you get the answer. And if you do so, guys, the right answer which you have to get in this case is option C, which is going to be 9. So I hope it's clear for you. So box ABC value which you're going to get here is 3, everyone. So we need to find out box ABC square, and that is simply going to be 9. So from this question, I wanted to tell you this particular point that in case of vector algebra and 3D geometry as well, go through the formulas once again, all the important formulas. I told you in vector algebra, it's going to be triple product and the scalar product and the vector product. Related to this, there are many formulas. You find many formulas in this chapter. Go through each and every one of them, remember them, and you see the application part of that. Definitely it is more than sufficient for you to solve a question on vector algebra in JEE main examination. Okay, so I hope this is clear for everyone. Now let me go to the 3D geometry. Since we are done with vector algebra, let us also look at a question in 3D geometry. Now in 3D geometry, if you see this question, guys, if the line x minus 3 by 1 is equal to y plus 2 by minus 1 is equal to z plus lambda by minus 2 lies in this particular plane, then the shortest distance between this line and this particular line. Okay, now I guess you have already understood the question. See, basically he's asking us to find out what is the shortest distance between this line and this line. And if you observe, guys, the direction ratios 1, minus 1 and minus 2, 12, 9 and 4, they're not equal. So what does that mean? So these two lines are not going to be parallel lines, so they are going to be skew lines. Now all you have to do is find out the distance between the two skew lines, or we can also say shortest distance between the two skew lines. Agreed. Now how are we going to do that, guys? You should be knowing this formula, right? So let us say you have something like this: x minus x1 by a, y minus y1 by b. Okay, let us say a1 b1 and z minus z1 by c1. This is one line. And x minus x2 by a2, y minus y2 by b2 and z minus z1 by c2. Okay, sorry, z2 by c2. Now let us say these are the two lines, and definitely they are not parallel, they are skew lines. You have to find the shortest distance between them. What is going to be the formula? The formula is, what is that formula going to be? Well, it is going to be simply a2 minus a1 dot b1 cross b2, b1 cross b2 divided by magnitude of b1 cross b2. This is the formula which we need to apply. Got it? I hope you guys already remember this formula. So in this case, what is a1? a1 is simply nothing but the point, guys. Don't get confused. a1 is not this. a1 is basically this one, x1 comma y1 comma z1. This is going to be the a1 point. Okay, or else to be more specific, you can write a1 in this way. Okay, so a1 is going to be the point x1, y1 and z1, and a2 is going to be this point on the second line, which is x2, y2 and z2. And you have this b1 cross b2. b1 is the this parallel vector of the first line. B2 is the parallel vector of the second line. Just to give you an idea of the formula, you might already know this. So in this case, that is what is asked for you. So we already know what is B1, right? So this is the B1 vector and this is going to be the B2 vector, correct? And you already know what is A2, right? 1, 0, 0. Now for A1, it is 3 minus 2 and this is lambda. We can't have lambda, right? We need a certain value for lambda, and for that, a extra condition is given for you in the question. What is that condition? This one, I mean this particular point, this particular line is going to lie in this plane. Now what does that mean? If this line is lying in the plane, don't you think this point, which is 3 comma minus 2 comma minus lambda, is going to lie in this plane? Of course, 2x minus 4y plus 3z is equal to 2. So definitely we can say that this point, since this point is present on the line is present on the plane, so definitely this point will also be present on the plane. Agreed. Now all you have to do is, we know this will satisfy this equation. So 2 into 3 minus 4 into minus 2 plus 3 into minus lambda is equal to 2. From this, calculate what is lambda going to be. Once you get to know the lambda, you'll get to know what is A1. So we have A1, A2, B1 cross B2 and B1 cross B2. Substitute that in this formula, you are gonna get the answer. Now I hope it is clear for everyone out there, guys. And if you do so, option C is going to be the right answer. Is it 0? Okay. The shortest distance in this particular case is 0. So they are going to be intersecting lines in this case. Nice. So if you're getting the answer as 0, that means they're intersecting lines, not skew lines. Okay. Since, you can also check that out if they're intersecting or not. Okay. All you can do is solve these two lines. You can take this to be equal to, let us say, some k1 and this to be equal to some k2, and then you can solve it, guys. Okay. From that also you'll get to know if these two lines are going to be intersecting or not. Okay. But if you don't have any idea about that, still it's fine. Right, we can always apply the skew lines formula, and if you're getting the answer as 0, it simply means that they are intersecting lines. If the lines are intersecting, the distance between them is definitely going to be 0. So I hope this question is clear for all the students out there, guys. Okay, chalo. So now let me go to another question. And what is this question? Okay, now we are into geometry. Okay, so we are done with some part of the algebra, and then we have done some vectors and 3D, and now we are into calculus. So you see this question out here. The common tangents to this circle and the parabola touch the circle at the point P and Q and the parabola at the points R and S. Then the area of the quadrilateral PQR is going to be. Now before I start this question, guys, let me tell you, usually in coordinate geometry, I mean this entire geometry part, 2D geometry, and specifically for the part of conic sections, circles, parabola, ellipse and hyperbola, the questions are framed in such a way that he'll try to use more than one concept. When I say one concept, he might mix up circle and parabola, or ellipse and parabola, or ellipse and hyperbola, or ellipse and circle. It's his wish. But if you see this question also, we have a combination of circle as well as parabola. So it's important for you to go through the basic concepts, the basic formulas, the important results in the case of circles, parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. Okay, if at all you're good with circles and you don't know anything about parabola, then definitely this question is of no use, right? So that is why, guys, at least go through the basic parts of each and every topic of this conic section, so that it will be helpful for you when there is a mix up of this two chapters. Like in this case we have circles and parabola. So in this question, what is he asking is that you have a circle. So let us say you have a circle like this, and that is x square plus y square is equal to 2. And to be more specific, let me draw it in this way. So you have your y and you have your x axis, and this is how the circle is going to look like. X square plus y square is equal to 2. Okay. Now you have a parabola, y square is equal to 8x. So this is how the parabola is going to look like. Agreed? Now for this we have the common tangents. Okay. So what are these common tangents going to be? So we can draw it in this way, right? You can draw the common tangents as, let us say that this is going to be one common tangent. Imagine it is touching. Okay, fine. Let me just draw it in this way so that it looks like touching it. Okay, and another common tangent like this. Fine. Now this is another common tangent. Now guys, I want you guys to observe this one. It's saying that the circle, this common tangent touches the circle at P and Q. So that means this point is P, this point is Q, okay, and it touches the parabola at R and S. So this point is R and this point is S. Now if you join PQ and RS, definitely you would end up getting a quadrilateral. He's asking the area of that. Now how are we gonna do this question, guys? Any idea? Well, it's pretty simple, guys. See, first thing is that what you can do in this case is you can take the parametric form. You can take the parametric form of, let us go with circle. Let us go with parabola. It will be more easy. Rather than circle, let us go with the parabola. Okay. So for parabola, I can tell you that the parametric point, let us say R, okay, or S, you can take it as, let us say, 80 square comma 280. This is the parametric form of a parabola of the type y square is equal to 4x. Agreed. So in this case, it's going to be 80 square comma 280. Now what is the value of a? 2. So it's going to be 2t square comma 4t. Now at this point, you find the equation of tangent. How do you do that? Using the point form. So it is going to be, so the tangent equation is going to be y into y1. Now what is y1 exactly going to be, guys? It is 4t is equal to, and you have 8x, which is nothing but 4 into, if you apply the operation t is equal to 0, 4 into x plus x1. And guys, this is what you're gonna get. This is the tangent equation, guys. This is the tangent equation. Okay. Now all we need to do is find the value of t. If we get to know the value of t, we'll get to know what are the tangents going to be, no? So how do you find out the value of t? Pretty simple. This tangent is also a tangent to circle, correct? Whatever the tangent equation we got, this is also a common tangent. That is, it's a tangent to the circle as well. Now if it's a tangent to the circle, we do know that, let me write it in this way, 4yt is equal to 4 into x plus 2t square, correct? Okay, now if it is a tangent to the circle, we know that from the center, whatever is going to be the perpendicular distance, that is going to be equal to the radius. You can apply that logic, correct? So all you have to do is from 0, 0, that is the center of the circle, onto this particular line, you find the perpendicular distance, and that is simply nothing but equal to the radius, which is root 2 according to the question. And from this, let me tell you guys, from this, you would end up getting the value of t. And once you get to the value of t, all you have to do is substitute here. You end up getting different equations of tangent. You would get 2 equations of tangent, this one as well as this one, and then figure out what is P, Q, R and S. Find the point of contact. I think that's pretty simple, right? You can easily figure out, like once you get the value of t, no, put that here, you would get R point and S point, and to find out P and Q, all you have to do is, guys, find out this equation of these lines. Let me just point it out that for you. I have picked up this type of questions so that in a single question, I can cover more than one concept. So that will be a revision for you also, guys. Okay. So now I'm telling you this one, that this R and S values are known to us. We need not to worry about R and S. We got it from here. Now we need to find out P and Q. And for that, all I'll be doing is, see, it's very simple. I know this line PS, correct? I know this particular line PS. Let us say, I know not PS, PR. I know this line PR, which is the tangent. Okay. I do also know that if you draw this line, let us say OP, this is going to be perpendicular to which one? This PR. Definitely PR is going to be perpendicular to OP, correct? Now can I figure out what is going to be the equation of OP, guys? Can I figure out what is the equation of OP? Yes, we can do that. Since we know PR, we get to know the slope. We get to know the slope of from here, and we can use the concept of two perpendicular lines. If two lines are perpendicular, m into m dash is minus 1. So from here you'll get to know the line, the slope of this line OP, and you know it's passing through the origin. So you can figure out what is OP line going to be, okay? And if you find out the intersection of OP and PR, that is how you are gonna get the point P. Similarly, you can also apply the same logic for OQ as well. You see, OQ is going to be perpendicular to QS. Apply the same logic like we did it for this particular case. Like how did we figure out what is the point P going to be? Apply in the same particular way. And if you do so, the right answer which you're going to get in this particular case is going to be 15, and that is option B. So I hope this question is clear for everyone out there. Conceptually, it's a very good question. Through this concept, through this particular question, you know the concepts of parabola, the concept of circle, the equation of tangent, and also the normal of circle. All these concepts are going to be clear for you, and you can expect such type of questions. As I told you, specifically from the conic section part, you'll always try to club, try to club more than one concept, guys, more than two concepts sometimes, maybe parabola or ellipse or parabola or circle. So, you have to be equipped with all the formulas from this basic chapters, the circle, parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. Go through the basic properties, standard equations and the different theorems and their results. Okay, definitely go through them, remember them. They will definitely be helpful for you in the examination. Okay, so I hope it's clear for everyone out there. And now let me go to another question. Now it's another question from again the geometry. And you can see this question, guys, a pretty simple question. I hope you guys can do this, man. It's not that complicated, like the previous one. The previous one was not that complicated. The previous one was a bit lengthy. And also one more important thing, the paper can be lengthy. Maths paper, I've seen it from the last 2-3 years, it has been lengthy. Okay, the paper was lengthy, the calculations was, were a little bit, long. It might take some time for you to get the question, okay? But remember, guys, if it is lengthy for you, if the paper is lengthy for you, then definitely it would be the same for rest of the students. I mean, if you have prepared very well for your examination and in the examination, it seems lengthy for you, the paper seems a little bit lengthy for you, okay, definitely everyone around you, who are writing that examination will also be in the same boat. So don't worry about it, okay? Do as much as possible. Really don't, your mind should be completely focused on the paper, guys. Don't have second thoughts. Okay, this question is taking me 4 minutes. Okay, this question is taking me 5 minutes. Okay, this question is taking me 8 minutes. No, fine, completely fine. Okay, but don't stick around like 15-20 minutes. That is simply going to waste your time. But let me tell you, sometimes the paper might be lengthy and few questions might take more than 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, but that doesn't mean that it's only for you. Everyone is facing the same thing. Since you are prepared well, everyone has, who has, prepared in your way, in your range, will be feeling the same way. So guys, just avoid the negative thoughts. Completely focus on the examination. Give your best 110% in the exam, and whatever you have to worry, do it outside the exam hall. Once you're done with the examination, then you worry about all these things. Bring all your thoughts and then start worrying about it. Okay, but not before exam and not in the examination specifically. Okay, so anyway, this question, guys, the normal. If the normal to the parabola y square is equal to 4x, at this point 80 square comma 280 cuts the parabola again at 80 square comma 280, and guys, it's not the same. Here it's small t and here it's capital T. Then what is going to be the relation? Now, I think you should be knowing this. Already we have discussed it, guys. You might have studied this in the case of normals of a parabola. We have this important concept that, let us say there is a point P for which the parametric point is T1, and there is a point Q for which the parametric point is T2. And let us say you're drawing a normal in such a way that at P, if you draw a normal, it passes through Q. So let us say if this is going to be the normal, then the relation between T1 and T2, which is going to be T2 is going to be minus T1 minus 2 by T1. This is going to be the important relation, guys. T2 is going to be minus T1 minus 2 by T1. In this case also it's pretty simple. Apply in the similar way. This capital T is going to be T2. The small t is going to be T1. And if you do so, you see, this is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get. And if you basically simplify, you end up getting a quadratic equation in terms of t. Small t specifically. Okay. And since the normal is intersecting the parabola at 2 points, for this quadratic equation, you have to have real roots, definitely. So for the real roots, discriminant should be greater than or equal to 0. And from that, you end up getting this inequality. And if you solve this, guys, this is the solution you are going to get, which is option D, t square greater than or equal to 8. So I hope this entire thing is clear for everyone out there. Okay, fine, perfect. So guys, let me go to another question for you. Now that was about parabola, and one more important thing, all the 30 questions tomorrow, from which you have to attempt 25, of course, are not going to be tough. Let me tell you that. All the questions are not going to be tough. There will be easy peasy questions in between. You have to search them. Like how do you search, some good videos, quality content in the YouTube? Like you watch a video, you go to another one, The same way you have to do it in the examination. Don't go with the linear approach, guys, in the examination. Like first question, then the second question, and then the third question, then the fourth question. No, not required. You can attempt it any order, in any way. If you feel the first, let us say you started with first question, you feel these questions are a little bit tough, start from the last question or pick up a random question in between. But make sure you look at all the 30 questions, have a glance at all the 30 questions, okay, read the 30 questions, and from that, definitely, whichever are easy, definitely do them, because they are the questions which are going to make a difference at the end, because all the students will not be able to figure out which are the easy questions in the exam, and they end up missing them out. Okay, so what my funda is very simple. In place of one tough question, do basically 3 to 4 easy to average questions. Am I right or wrong? I mean, in place of doing one lengthy question, one tough question, which will give you anyway 4 marks only, you can actually do 2 or 3 questions or maybe 4 questions which are easy to moderate level, which would give you 12 to 16 marks. So be very smart, guys. Have a very smart approach in the exam. Don't have this mindset that I need to just go in a linear approach, in linear way, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, don't do that. Do the random picking. Okay, that will definitely prove beneficial for you at the end of examination. Now, anyways, let me go to another question for you. Now, see this particular question. It's a limit question, guys. A limit question. What is given? Limit extending to 0. X square sine beta x by alpha x minus sine x equal to 1. See, guys, I told you this question before also, this type of questions. That is, in the limit specifically, if you see the previous year questions, the pattern of questions coming from limits, he's mostly concerned with finding these constants. He'll give you a limit, he'll say it's defined, he'll give you its value, and from that, he might give you certain constants. In this case, it is alpha and beta. You need to figure out those values, and the similar type of question. Now this is very simple. If you observe, it is in 0 by 0 form. Apply the L'Hospital rule and get the solution. Or else, for this question, there is also another method, which is using the Taylor series expansion, the expansion method, the expansion series. You see, for sine beta x, you can apply the expansion of sine x in this way. And for sine x, you can apply the expansion. And after that, if you do the simplification, you see, this is how you're going to get. Now, guys, try to understand this, man. It is 0 by 0 form, correct? So what does that mean is, definitely the numerator, x cube is common here. I mean, x cube, you can take it as a common in the numerator. In denominator also, if we can have only x cube term as a starting, not any lesser degree term, not any lesser power term, definitely this would give you, this 0 by 0 form will give you a finite quantity. But since we have an x term here, we need to remove this. And for that, you can take alpha minus 1 to be 0, and we got the value of alpha. And after getting the value of alpha, you can basically simplify the rest of the part and get the value of beta, which turns out to be 1. I mean 1 by 6. 6 beta is 1. Okay, and from that you can calculate 6 alpha plus 6 beta, which is simply going to become 7. So I'm telling you guys, this type of questions are very, very important, where I'm specifically in limits. Okay, that is where you need to find out the constant values. So be careful. Okay, try to understand what is given in the question. You see the different methods. If it is 0 by 0, infinity by infinity, you can apply L'Hospital, or else in some cases, like in this question, we have applied the expansion rule and accordingly get the answer. So I hope this question is clear for everyone out there. Now let me go to another question. Now this is a functional relation question, and if again the questions on functional relations, where a certain functional relation is given for you and you need to figure out what are the right options. Okay, now how are we going to do this? And before that, let me do one thing. Let me take a 1 minute, 2 minute break. Okay, where I'll take up few questions from the chat section, guys. All the students who are writing the exam this week, JEE main examination, you have any doubts? Let's chat for 1-2 minutes. Okay, let's talk for 1-2 minutes, and then I'll continue with the question. And the rest of the students, if you don't have any doubts, you can continue solving this question. Try it out and let me know in the chat section what is the right answer. Okay, now guys, hello. I hope just a minute, guys. Let me just bring this here so that I can read all your comments. Okay, so hello guys, hello everyone. Okay, so guys, if you have any more doubts here, anyone is having any specific doubts here? Anyone is having any doubts in this case, guys? So how many of you are having the exam tomorrow itself? Option is C. Okay. The right answer is C. F of x is differentiable in all the real numbers. Okay. Sir, will these questions be repeated? Well, not exactly. If these questions are repeated, then that is a bonanza for you guys. Okay. But no, but the types can be repeated. Definitely. The types. I'm discussing the types. Don't focus on exact question and options. Okay. You focus on what type of question it is, and you focus on the approach of the question. Okay. Sir, please tell what can I do tomorrow? What kind of things I can take and go for exam center? Definitely. Guys, tomorrow, fun thing is that pen, paper, everything will be provided to you in the exam hall itself. So don't take anything. Just your Aadhaar card or any identity card, carry it with you. And whatever the rest of instructions are given for you on your admit card, okay, follow those instructions and strictly only carry them. Okay, and one more thing, wear something which is comfortable to you. Okay, maybe jeans or something, whichever you feel comfortable, because you have to sit for 3 hours in the examination. Mind it. So wear something which is very comfortable. Okay, since it's very cold outside, it's winter. I make sure that you carry not blanket exactly, maybe a hoodie or something. Okay, so that you can keep yourself warm. It's all about being at your comfort, being comfortable in the examination, so that you can focus completely on the questions and getting the solution part. Okay, right. Sir, we can carry our mobile phones, not inside, definitely. Outside, I think there will be definitely this security locks where lock rooms will be available for you. You can go and store them, guys. Okay. Sir, is there any chance of copy? Oh my God, what type of questions am I getting here? Okay, no. No. Okay. Doubt, how much paper will they give us in the examination? It would be sufficient, but make sure don't write, don't waste, any of the paper which is given for you, guys. When I say don't waste, let us say this is the paper provided to you. Let me just give you an example. Okay. Now try to write it as small as possible. Okay. Let us say if you want to solve this question, don't take the entire page. Maybe this much portion is sufficient. So make sure to write it as small as possible, and also don't leave so many gaps in between the lines when you're solving a question, because extra paper or extra whatever that booklet is there is not going to be provided to you. So mind you guys, only this will be given, so use it efficiently. Okay, fine. Chalo guys, any more doubts here? I hope no one is having any more doubt. Again, there is live, sir, for phase 2. Yes. Tell a question of but the computer was nearby you. Just okay, fine. Postpone JEE mains. Okay, these are simple calculator. No, I think calculator is not allowed. Maybe they might provide. No. This calculator is not allowed. No. Sorry, good name. My name is Gautam. Okay, so I guess there are no specific questions here. Okay, guys, let me do one thing. Let me just get back to the session. Let's solve the questions quickly. Okay, and then let's continue. Okay, and at the end I'll take up some Q&A questions for you guys, and you have any specific doubts, I'll definitely talk to you, and I'll try to clarify those doubts. Okay, fine. So now in this particular question, if you observe guys, this functional relation is given for us and is asking us about the function f of x. So basically you need to have an idea about what exactly f of x is going to be. Now for those questions where functional relations are involved, I would suggest you definitely do few questions on that if you still have some time. But guys, if you have this type of functional relations, use first principle of derivative. What does that mean? Well, you see here, I can take f dash of 0 to be equal to limit h tending to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Okay, divided by h x plus h, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by x minus h. Okay, so I hope this is clear for everyone out there. So this is the first principle of derivative. F dash of 0, which is going to be limit h tending to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. And of course, this is going to be the first principle of derivative. So as I told you, if you have the functional relation, use this particular concept, which is the first principle of derivative. Now, how are we going to exactly apply to this particular question? Well, if you observe guys, this can be written in this way. F dash of 0 is going to be limit h tending to 0, f of. Now let me do one thing. If I want to make use of this formula, this functional relation, let me write this in this way. 3x plus 3h divided by 3. Can I write this x plus h in this particular way? Yes, we can do that. Minus f of x, let me write it as 3x plus 0 divided by 3. Can we write it in this particular way again? Yes, definitely we can do that. Now, for the first and second term, you can apply this functional relation, right? You see, f of x plus y by 3, it is exactly in this format, which is f of x plus f of y by 3. So here you can simplify it. You can expand this using this particular relation. And if you do so, guys, this is what you're going to get. You see, this is what you are going to get. F of 3x plus f of 3h by 3 minus f of 3x plus f of 0 by 3 whole divided by h. You can observe clearly this term is getting cancelled. And this is what is remaining. You see, this is what is remaining. And according to the question, it's given for you that f dash of 0 is 3. So this entire value is 3. Limit h tending to 0, f of 3h minus f of 0 divided by 3h value is 3. And this is only going to be possible for which f of x? When f of x is going to be 3x plus c. Yes or no? If f of x is a linear function, which is 3x plus c, and if you apply the first principle of derivative, then only this is going to be possible, which is 3. And from here, we know f of 0 is 0, so c will be 0. And what is f of x going to be? It is simply going to be 3x. And let me tell you guys, if f of x is 3x, a straight line, and we do know that a straight line is always differentiable. It is always differentiable in all the real numbers, and the right answer for this question is, yes, option C. So I hope this question is clear for all the students out there. So practice this question, guys, this type of questions. As I told you that functional relations on this type, on functional relations in the previous years, different type of questions have been framed, frequently repeated. So definitely this is one such concept where you can focus upon. And after that, we have another question. A differential equation is given for you. Now guys, let me solve this question also for you. Now what is given? X dy divided by x square plus y square. And you observe this side, guys. Okay, so first thing is that in differential equation, again, a question is definitely for sure. And again, whatever question is going to come in differential equation, it's definitely going to be easy to moderate level. Never a tough question. I've never seen a very tough question from differential equation chapter. Okay, so this is another scoring chapter for you. So make sure you go through all those methods once again. Just have a look at all those methods, the variable separable, homogeneous, and the linear differential. In linear differential also we have Bernoulli's equation. So go through it once again. And coming to this question specifically, we can basically solve it in this way. Like we can basically, write it in this way: y dx by x square plus y square minus of dx. We can simplify it in this way. Let me take this to this side, and that is going to give me x dy minus y dx divided by x square plus y square, correct, is equal to minus dx. And guys, there is also another method apart from whatever methods I told you just before a few seconds. There is also another method which is exact differential equations method. That is basically, if you observe this, guys, if you basically observe the left hand side, this is simply nothing but the differentiation of tan inverse of y by x. Agreed? If you differentiate tan inverse of y by x, you see this is what you are gonna get. Okay, and this is basically equal to minus dx. Now all you have to do is integrate this. On the left hand side, this integration differentiation is going to get cancelled. On the right hand side, you would get integration of minus dx to be minus x plus c. And after that, if you just simplify, you end up getting the options, guys. You see, this is the answer you have to get, which is going to be option C. So I hope this is clear for everyone out there. So sometimes try to first observe the differential equation, and if you can write it in this exact form, like we did it in this particular question, if you're able to write it in this way, in the exact form, definitely go with that method, because it would save you a lot of time, right? But if you're not able to figure it out, if you're not able to find out any such term through which if you differentiate, you directly get up ending this terms. Okay, if you don't find any such terms, or if you're not able to get that in the exam, definitely quickly check which method can you apply in this case, the variable separable or homogeneous or the linear differential equation. According to that, just apply the appropriate method. So I hope this question is clear for you guys, and the right answer, as I told you, is going to be option C. Okay, and then we have another question. Well, mathematical reasoning, a question on mathematical reasoning. Now again, this is an easy peasy chapter, guys. Again, another easy peasy chapter like statistics. Definitely a question is going to be asked, and it's going to be an easy question only. Okay, so what I would do is, ideally, once I start mathematics paper, I would just be looking at okay, where is my statistics question and mathematical reasoning question, because I'm damn sure that I'll be able to do any question from these two chapters. Right, that is my approach. As I told you, I'll just play very smartly. All I have to do is make sure to get as many questions as possible in the limited amount of time. Right, so again, the same funda. One tough question is not better. In place of that one tough question, do 3 or 4 easy to moderate questions. No. So this question is also same like that. A very simple question, guys. Just draw the truth table, man. You see, this is a truth table. Okay. So P, Q, then you have this P and Q and this operation, and then take the negation of that, and then this and basically, you have to just figure out, right, this is equivalent to which of the options in this. Okay. And if you check it out, you'll get to know that option C is going to be the right answer. Okay, so this is easy peasy stuff. I'm not explaining exactly about all these truth tables. I hope you already know this, guys. Okay, so let me just skip to another question. Now you see this particular question. In a triangle ABC, angle A is greater than angle B. If the measures of angles A and B satisfy this equation, this particular equation, and K lies between 0 to 1, then what is going to be the measure of angle C? Okay, so again, a trigonometric equation. So most of the students are weak in trigonometry, but again, trigonometric equations from this particular topic, questions have been repeatedly asked. And guys, just go through the formulas of trigonometry once again, because they're very useful for you. It would be helpful for you in calculus as well as geometry, in vectors, 3D as well as algebra. Everywhere these trigonometry formulas are going to be used for you. So definitely guys, just go through those formulas once again. It would help you a lot. Okay, and in the examination, make sure that you're applying the right formula. Sometimes what happens is that you have a lot of formulas and you end up another formula in place of applying the right formula. Okay, so just cross check that. Don't be in a hurry. Have a very simple, very calm and peace mind, and just do the questions accordingly. Okay, now in this question it's pretty simple, man. All that is given is this one. Okay, I can find this equation right here, and we already know this one. This is sine 3x is equal to k. Yes or no? This is sine 3 theta formula. And we know that a and b is satisfying this equation. No. So what does that mean? Sine 3a is going to be equal to k, and sine 3b is going to be also equal to k. If you subtract this, I'll get sine 3a minus of sine 3b is equal to 0. This is what you are going to get. I hope it's clear for you guys. Sine c minus sine d. Apply sine c minus sine d formula. And one more important thing for you is that here observe the value of k should be between 0 to 1. So what does that mean? Remember, when is the value of k between 0 to 1? When the angle of sine is between 0 to pi. When the angle of sine is in the first and second quadrant, then only you end up getting the value of that angle. I mean the value of sine for that particular angle to be between 0 to 1, which is positive. Correct? So 0 to 3 pi, 0 to pi. And also for this one, the 3b, since k is lying between 0 to 1, 3b should lie between 0 to pi. So make sure you write down this. Okay, this should be definitely applied according to that. Only you need to choose the values of a and b. So now guys, sine 3a minus sine 3b, apply sine c minus sine d. No, and also one more criteria is given for you, that angle a is always greater than angle b. That is another criteria given for you. Now using this criteria, if you apply sine c minus sine d, you see guys, this is what you are going to get. Correct? Now this into this is 0. From this I'm going to get two conditions. The first condition is either this can be 0 or this can be 0. Now let me tell you this guys. This cannot be 0. Sine of 3 into a minus b by 2 cannot be 0. Why, sir? Why? Because first thing, a is greater than b. A is not equal to b. No, a is greater than b. Okay, fine. And also we know that this 3a angle is lying between 0 to pi. And 3b also lies between 0 to pi, where sine is definitely going to be positive. No. So what does that mean is, first thing, a is not greater than p, and definitely they are not lying, they're basically lying in the interval 0 to pi. So that means definitely the sine of 3 of a minus b by 2 is not going to become 0. If they are going to be 0, that is when a should be equal to b, or I can say when 3 into a minus b by 2 is going to be equal to pi. Yes or no? Only these two cases are going to be possible. No, man. Now what I'm telling you is, you see here, 3a minus 3b should be equal to 2 pi. Correct? If 3a minus 3b is 2 pi, then sine of that is going to become 0. But that is not possible, since my 3a and 3b are lying between 0 to pi only. No. If you subtract this, definitely it will not go 2 pi. So that is why this cannot be 0. And what does that mean? Only this criteria is going to be true. That is, cos of this should be 0. And from that I'm going to get this particular criteria, which is 3 into a plus b by 2 is pi by 2. And from here I'll get to know what is a plus b, which is pi by 3. Now once I get to know what is a plus b in a triangle, if I know what is a plus b, can you find out the other angle c? Of course, which is 2 pi by 3. So what is the right option for this question, guys? Option C is going to be the right answer. So I hope it's clear for you. So again, basic trigonometric formulas, just brush it up, go through it once again, guys. For all the students who are having the exam tomorrow, okay, I think it's enough for you. Don't prepare anything. But for all the students who still have 2, 3 or more days, let's say this week you have somewhere, definitely keep going through the trigonometric formulas once again. The transformation formulas, compound angle, multiple angle, submultiple angle, trigonometric equations, and then we also have important results right? Like we have this arithmetic series in trigonometry for sine and as well as cos, like sine alpha plus beta plus sine alpha plus 2 beta. The same thing can be repeated for cos. That result is important, right? Cos A into cos 2A into cos 2 square A into cos 2 cube A. This result is also important. So there are important results. Definitely go through them. It would be helpful for you in the examination. Okay. And with that, let me go to another question. Now you see this particular question. Now I have discussed about matrices. Now in determinants also, there is one such concept which is very, very important, guys. In matrices and determinants, one important type of question that can be framed is on the properties, right? The properties of matrices or properties of determinants. Another type of question that can be framed is from this concept of system of linear equations. System of linear equations is such an important topic. You know, every year there are high chances that a question can be framed from here. So definitely go through them, man. Okay. So in this case, a non-homogeneous linear equation is given. System of linear equation is asking you it is inconsistent for which pairs of alpha and beta. This is going to be, mu and delta. This is going to be inconsistent. Now, according to Cramer's rule, when would the non-homogeneous linear equations become inconsistent? When there is no solution, correct? When there is no solution. And when would that be possible? When delta is equal to 0 and out of delta 1 or delta 2 or delta 3, at least 1 is not equal to 0. If that is the case, then definitely you would get no solution, which simply means inconsistent. Okay, so guys, get the values of delta, okay, and substitute these options and check the value of delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 and see which is not, which is basically satisfying this criteria, and that would be the right answer. Okay, so I'm not discussing these things in detail about the Cramer's rule because I hope you guys already know this. It's not a time for me to discuss all those things in detail, but again, I'm just giving you an outlay so that you can, go through this stuff once again before you give your examination. Do check out the non-homogeneous, guys. The non-homogeneous linear equations as well as the homogeneous linear equations. For non-homogeneous, we have the Cramer's rule. So definitely go through this. And also for homogeneous, we have the concept of trivial and non-trivial. Trivial and non-trivial solutions. Trivial and non-trivial solutions. So definitely go through them. There are high chances that the questions can be framed from this concept. Go through consistency, inconsistency, when you would get unique solution, infinite solution, no solution. All these concepts are covered in here. So definitely go through it. Okay, and chalo, let me go to another question. And for this one, the right answer is option D, guys. You have to get 4,3. Okay, and then you have another question here, the area question, the area of the region bounded by this parabola and the tangent to it at this particular point. Now this is pretty simple. I'll just explain you the basic concept. Guys, try to understand this, you guys. First, the parabola. The parabola is having the vertex at 2, 1. Where is the parabola? It is having the vertex at 2, 1. And if you draw the parabola, it looks something like this. Let me just draw the parabola for you. Maybe something like this. Not exactly this, but something like this. Okay. And sorry. This is the vertex, right? I'm very sorry. The parabola is, let us say, assume that it looks something like this. And then there is a point which is at 3. Y is equal to 3. Okay. So let me choose a point somewhere here. And from at this point, draw the tangent. So this is going to be the tangent. You see, this is going to be the tangent. So at this particular point, if you draw the tangent, the tangent looks like this. Agreed, everyone? Okay. And also there is a small mistake in this parabola. Let me just draw it because it will cut the x-axis. That is damn sure. It will definitely cut the x-axis, no doubt in that. So let me just redraw this once again. So let me just draw this once again. Correct. So this is how the figure looks like. And we need to find this area. Let me show that area to you guys. You see, this is the area we need to figure out. This is the area that is bounded between the straight line, the the parabola and the x-axis. We need to find this particular area. Now how do we do that? That's pretty simple. First things first, find the equation of this tangent. That is very simple. What is this point going to be? At y is equal to 3. What is the value of x, everyone? So it's going to be 2. X is going to become 2. So the point is going to be 2, 3. At 2, 3, find the equation of this tangent. Okay. So at 2, 3, you get the equation of tangent. I hope you can do this. Pretty simple. Just find dy by dx at 2, 3. That will give you the slope. You have the slope, you have this point, slope point form, you get the line. Okay. And after finding the equation of tangent, guys, you need to find this area. And what is that area going to be? Simple. Integration 0 to this point, which is 3. Let me take the horizontal strip, not the vertical. Because the horizontal strip is going to become much easy for us to solve in this case. So if you take the horizontal strip, 0 to 3, it is this parabola minus the line, right? It is going to be this parabola equation minus this line equation into dy. So write the parabola equation in terms of y, line equation in terms of y into dy, solve this integral, you end up getting the area. So area questions are also very important, and in area questions sometimes he might ask you like this, where he's also testing another concept. For example, in this particular question, he's also testing the concept of tangent, whether you're able to, find the equation of a tangent or not, right? So he always tries to do that in mathematics, guys. He'll try to, mix up 2 or more concepts in a question to check whether you have a good grip on all the concepts, okay? So this type of question can be expected. So area question must definitely go through it, okay? Make sure the diagram which you're drawing is correct. Don't mess up the diagram, because if you mess up the diagram, you'll not get the exact region for which we need to find the area. And definitely that's a waste of time, and you'll not end up getting any solution also there. So draw the diagram neatly, take some time, okay, comfortably, calmly draw the diagram, find out what region you need to figure out, okay, for which region you need to find the area, and then you apply this concept. I hope it's clear for everyone, okay. And guys, for this question, the right answer is going to be C. If you just simplify this, the right answer is going to be option C. And after that, we have the last question, guys, and that is this question is related to the permutations and combinations. And in this particular concept of permutations and combinations, there is a concept called as number of divisors. Number of divisors. And in number of divisors, we have different types, even divisors, odd divisors. Definitely go through this concept, guys. Number of divisors, sum of divisors, very, very important. These formulas are very important. Go through the application. For this question, you see, n is given as 2 raised to x, 3 raised to y, and 5 raised to z, right? Where y and z are such that y plus z is 5. Y inverse plus z inverse is 5 by 6. For y greater than z, we need to find the number of odd divisors of n. Now, first things first, what do you mean by odd divisors? In which 2 should not be there. If 2 is there, of course it's going to be even. So for me, the first hint in the question is just remove this 2 raised to x, man. It's not required for me, because I have to basically figure out what are odd divisors in this case, okay? So I don't need 2 raised to x. I just need 3 raised to y into 5 raised to z. And we do have the formula. The number of odd divisors is and these are the prime factors in this case, 3 raised to y into 5 raised to 7. The formula will be y plus 1 into z plus 1. And how do you find out the y and z values here? Guys, pretty simple, no? You see, this equation is given, this equation is also given for you. Solve these 2 equations in terms of y and z only, no? So solve these 2 equations, get the value of y and z, put them here, you end up getting the answer. And the answer for this question is going to be option C. So I hope this is clear for everyone out there. Another easy peasy question, not a difficult question at all. And guys, definitely go through it. I've seen a concept, this concept of number of divisor questions in 2022, in 2021, in 2020 as well. specifically in this concept, number of divisors wala concept, is asking to figure out maybe odd or even divisors, or he might, twist the question a little bit. He might ask you, okay, tell me what are the divisors which are multiples of 12 or multiples of a certain number. So there are different types of questions, that can be framed on this concept. So definitely go through them. It's very important in permutations and combinations. And with that, well, we are done with the today's session. Okay, so guys, that was a wonderful session. So these are, the predicted questions for your JEE Main 2023. I try to cover as much as possible for you to give you a very quick glance of the entire syllabus maybe, okay, and also just to remind you guys which are important, what are the key things which you have to focus before you go to the examination, okay, maybe before 2 or 3 days, what are the key concepts which you have to go through once again, so that it will be very helpful for you in the examination. Okay, so if you find the session helpful for you, all you have to do is, well, you already know that, right? Hit the like button, guys. The target for this session is 1000 likes. I want 1000 likes for this session. So hit the like button, subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, and also share the video to your friends so that this will be helpful for you. And guys, if you have any doubts in this question, any doubt in a general doubt or any doubt in today's session, you can chat with me. I'm still available. Let us have 2-3 minutes of Q&A, guys, here. Okay, so how to approach a question, so many models are there, how to solve by own. Guys, let me tell you, it depends upon the practice. If you practice more, you'll get to know exactly that, okay, this question can be done by this, through this approach. Okay, it's not a big deal. For example, we have done this number of divisors. The concept remains the same. The type of question can change. In a question, he might ask you even divisor. In a question, he might ask you odd divisor. In a question, he might ask you, okay, find the divisor which is a multiple of a certain number. So the concept is going to remain the same. The formula remains the same. The way of solving that question is going to change according to the given criteria. And to understand how to do the modification, definitely you have to practice well. Okay, right. Sir, give us your blessings. All my blessings, guys. All the best for your examination. Do well. Definitely you guys are going to do well. I'm sure about it. Just be confident. Have this positive feeling. Don't take any negative feelings with you in the examination. And also don't be with your friends or anyone who's having these negative feelings. Okay, be positive. Have this positivity around you. You have done great amount of hard work for these 2 years. All those things, all that efforts and hard works are definitely going to show that in the examination. They're definitely going to reflect in the examination. Okay, so if can boys wear full hand shirt? Yes, definitely. Okay, chalo guys. Any doubt in this case? Is anyone having any more doubts, guys? Sir, can we attempt question from binomial theorem? Yes, you can do that. From binomial theorem, questions are expected. So definitely. Okay. Chalo guys, then any more doubts? I think that's it. Okay, exit. Okay, chalo then. Thank you so much everyone. That was a lovely session. Bye guys. Bye all my rock stars out there. We'll meet in another exciting session. And tomorrow, after you write your exam, the JEE Main first shift, we are going to do the paper analysis on this channel at 1:30 p.m. So do join the paper analysis at 1:30 p.m. All the students who are having their examination tomorrow, JEE Main tomorrow, first shift, you can check, your solutions, whatever the memory based questions are there. You can check the solutions. Just join us at 1:30 p.m. And you can just verify, cross check, what solutions you got with our answers. Okay, so do join that session, guys. It's going to be very helpful for you, and also for all the other students who have your dates at another time, another date. You have not tomorrow, but maybe this week. You can also join the session to know what type of questions were asked in this JEE Main, so that you can prepare accordingly, right? You have still some time, so you can prepare accordingly. You can at least go through those concepts if you have not, gone through them. Chalo guys, then thank you so much everyone. Take care. Bye-bye. We'll meet in another session. Till then, take care everyone. Bye guys. As I always tell this, result is not important. The process is very, very important. Give your 110% in the process. The result will take care of itself. With that, bye everyone. This is your master teacher, Gautam. Bye-bye. Good night.